Who are these? Whom? Read the list of the prophets which are mentioned before this verse. None but the prophets are mentioned there. Many prophets are mentioned. And in the end, both law-bearing and non-law-bearing, But in the end, the conclusion drawn is وَجَعَلْنَاهُمْ أَئِمَّةً يَهْدُونَ بِأَمْرِنَا وَأَوْحَيْنَا إِلَيْهِمْ فِي الْخَيْرَاتِ وَفِي الزَّكَاةِ.
खैरात व ज़कात देख आयत निकालें.
I'll quote from, I may by mistake, quote something which is not exactly the words of the Quran, so I'll wait for that. But the meaning is very clear. The Holy Quran says, we made them Aimma. And the singular of Aimma is what? Al-Imam. And one who receives guidance from Allah, then passes on to others. What is he? The guided one. Al-Mahdi. Yahduna bi amrina is the pivotal point to be understood. وَأَوْحَيْنَا إِلَيْهِمْ فِعْلَ الْخَيْرَاتِ وَجَعَلْنَاهُمْ أَئِمَّةً يَهْدُونَ بِأَمْرِنَا وَأَوْحَيْنَا إِلَيْهِمْ فِعْلَ الْخَيْرَاتِ وَإِقَامَ الصَّلَاةِ وَإِيتَاءِ الزَّكَاةِ وَكَانُوا لَنَا عَابِدِينَ. Now, فِعْلَ الْخَيْرَاتِ وَإِقَامَ الصَّلَاةِ وَإِيتَاءِ الزَّكَاةِ are the common features of all religions, as mentioned in Surah Al-Bayyinah. So this does not mean that new wahi of a new religion or new law was revealed to them. They answered to the very basic, fundamental definition of prophets. They were appointed by God. They did not say anything from themselves. Whatever God directed, they passed it on to the people. And they were not necessarily law-bearing, but they performed all the functions which all the prophets perform. So this verse has other similar verses, but invariably all apply to the prophets and none to the non-prophets. So because I have a perfect faith in Hadhrat Muhammad Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam's special quality which has been mentioned in the Holy Quran, that وَمَا يَنْتِقُ عَنِ الْهَوَىٰ إِنْ هُوَ إِلَّا وَحْيٌ يُوحَىٰ. It was this unshakable belief in him that initiated this research by me, and I wanted to find out where in the Holy Quran the term Imam al-Mahdi is mentioned. And this is what I discovered. So according to the definition of the Quran, anyone who is appointed by God as leader, religious leader, and he does not convey anything of guidance from himself, but under the order and command of God, Yahduna bi amrina, that is Al-Imam al-Mahdi. And he is also recipient of wahi. Now these three conditions are met in Al-Imam al-Mahdi. That is why all the Aimma, without fail, believe that if the Imam Mahdi appears, no Muslim will be permitted to reject him. If you reject him, you will be out of the pale of Islam. So where is the difference? This is exactly what our belief is. But when it turns to a person, identification of the person who is mentioned under these two titles, then the tempers flare up of the mullahs, and they want to excite the unknowing, unsuspecting, innocent public of what they mean to do. What they mean to do is to create hatred against a claimant from Allah who has claimed nothing but what was predicted. This is our position vis-a-vis Hadhrat Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam's predicted Imam. Right? Thank you. Jazakumullah.
Hazur, next question is from Mr. Nasir from New Malden. He is here. He's sitting there, and he wants me to ask the question.
Please do.
What is the historical proof and background regarding Jesus Christ traveling to Kashmir and his burial in Srinagar, Kashmir? Thank you.
Could I inquire from the questioner, please, what is the alternative suggestion? None? He might have gone to the heavens bodily. Now, where is the historical proof of that? Equate the two beliefs. Which is more logical, which is less logical? It is not upon anyone to prove where any prophet of God went and was buried. There is no need for such a proof. But if you say someone ascended to heavens bodily, then the onus of proving it is on his shoulder, because he is making a very unusual claim. For usual claims, you don't have to prove anything. If I say somebody had two eyes, how can anyone demand from me, prove it? I don't have to prove it. Everybody has, exceptionally in some cases. But if I say somebody has instead of eyes, has two large lamps brightly lit in the place of the eyes, then naturally you will have a right to ask the proof. Where is the proof? It's a strange claim you are making. It doesn't happen in humans. So maybe he is a person of a fairy tale, then I would agree, but not otherwise. This is exactly the case of those who claim that Jesus Christ did not die like all other human prophets, but he ascended to heavens. Now this claim is definitely proved to be wrong by the Holy Quran. I will not enter into the detail of what happened to him, whether he died upon cross or did not. This is a different question. I'm going to answer you in relation to this particular question with reference to a verse of the Holy Quran which tells us of the demand of the people of the time of Muhammad Rasulullah Sallam to ascend to heaven bodily and descend from there bringing a book. They said, only then shall we believe in you. The answer taught by the Holy Quran was, قُلْ سُبْحَانَ رَبِّي هَلْ كُنْتُ إِلَّا بَشَرًا رَسُولًا. What are you demanding from me? First prove that any Bashar or any Rasul had ever done this. I'm a Bashar Rasul, so you can claim from me the proof of my truth only within the confines of my claims. You can't attribute something to me which I never claimed. So he said, I am a Bashar. According to Allah's instruction, this is the answer he gave. I am a Bashar and I am a Rasul. None who belong to Bashar, Bashariyat, ever ascended to heaven. None who belong to the category of prophets, Rasul, ever ascended to heaven bodily. If this is not implied, then what is the validity of this answer? None. Because the enemy could say, what do you mean Bashar Rasulah? Is not Jesus Christ a Bashar? Is he not a Rasul? Why did he ascend? And why did you prophesy that he will also descend?